Men, many times, are living in a sexless relationship. So many men who work diligently every day, working sometimes 2 or 3 jobs, come home every night, sleep in the bed, and don't get to have sex. Now, I know this is funny and it seems to be a little bit peculiar that I'm doing this message, but more often than not, many African American men, or men in general in America, go through this. But the question would be, why? Well, the thing is that keeping up something consistently for a long time is hard to do. And Ron Wills, one of the great YouTubers in our black sector and contributing author on the NegroManosphere.com website, he says, when I was 22, it was easy to keep up a nice body, but at age 42, it's still hard to keep that body up. And see, such would be the case when we're talking about keeping up sexual desire in between two people. You see, when you first meet somebody, a man or a woman, everything is new. It's a different experience. The excitement of her and the excitement of you is surreal. And so quite naturally, you're going out on dates, it's spontaneous. You're having sex, it's spontaneous. And then you're having a sex a whole lot. And I think it's a problem because, once you do anything too much, sooner or later, the affinity for it will stop. And this is the reason why, and Eddie Murphy made a joke about somebody who eats hamburgers every day. No matter how good that hamburger is, if you eat it every day at a certain time, it's going to become plain. It's not going to excite you. And the same thing with people who take a certain amount of caffeine every day, people who drink a certain amount of alcohol every day. After a while, that particular amount don't bother you. And so what you get sometimes in sexual relationships between women and men is what you consider to be sexual burnout. You hit it the same way every night. Men are repetitive creatures. Who pussy is this the same way every night? After a while, she get old. And also, men make the mistake of being creatures of repetition. Not only are you doing the same thing, sometimes you're not doing the things that got you in the first place. It is also customary that also men do this. For example, you go for a job interview. In that job interview, you're telling them how you're going to be a hard worker. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to be the best employee in the company. For the first year, you can do that. You're there on time. You're there all the time. You win all the awards. But once you win all the awards, you make a certain amount of money, the desire for it is gone. And then the real you comes out. Lazy, late, unappreciative. This is how most people are. Now, also what can happen with men being in sexual relationships, besides what I'm mentioning, well, it's the fact that your mate, for whatever reason, also gets comfortable. Now, for example, a woman may take the initiative to say, well, I got the nigga now, fuck it. No need for me to keep my nice figure. Nigga paying my bills. Got a baby by the nigga. Fuck it. Let myself go. So the hot little chick that you had, 5'7", 125 pounds. Well, 5'7", 200 pounds. Bitch so big, she's outside, even though she's inside. That's how big the bitch is now. And so all of a sudden, what made you turn on about her don't turn you on no more. In fact, your dick is softer than a heated microwave honey bun. You see her, You're mad and you want to tell her, why the fuck you so fat? I mean, you don't because you don't want to make her feel bad, but once again, she's too busy eating that fucking donut or something. You understand that? This shit also happens. Another thing that happens is, obviously, you got kids now. Well, she didn't really get too fat after the kids, but the problem is, kids take up a lot of time. You see, especially if she's working. You working, she's working, now you got ugly ass kids. Ugly ass kids take up a lot of fucking time. And see, the thing is, you don't have the time to do anything anymore. Baby's always crying, baby's always in school. And once again, moms put in more work when it comes to little babies, typically more often so than men do. And so now, the baby needs attention. Wait, oops, you fucked around and fucked her again, got her pregnant, now you got 2 kids. So, no time to get your dick sucked. And when you try, she says, hey, I'm tired. Been working, taking care of your ugly ass kids. Let us look at the other situation. You see, because you got new kids, money's not coming in, you need a second job. And so now you have men who have a larger primary job and now some secondary hustle. And now it's come to the point where you know that this is no longer obligatory. Well, it is obligatory. You're obligated to this now. And the reason why is you have to bring in more money to feed these fucking kids. And now you have to do things that you don't want to do. Now you're realizing that you're tied to the cusp of this motherfucker. You see. So in order for you to survive, you must put yourself through a whole lot of stress. And see, that stress of you having to get out there and get that money, that stress of you having to get out there and do things that maybe you don't want to do, is also what kills your sex drive. Keeps you in a sexless relationship, because now you know that in order for you to keep sustaining your lifestyle, it requires effort from you 80 to 90 hours a week. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means no sex for you. You don't have time to get any pussy. You have to work. You have to support these kids. You only have time for yourself. And now here you are, finding yourself in a sexless, meaningless relationship. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say to men that you want to make sure that before you commit to anybody or any particular situation, or before you commit to any outstanding thing that may put you in financial debt, and I'm talking about lavish cars or lavish homes, the things these nature are things that you can't afford just to say that you have them. Understanding that all your decisions that you make can put you in a sexless relationship before you know it. Because see, once you have kids by her, and once you have a house note, and especially if you need her to pay bills, see, you can't replace her. You can't just kick her out. You see, you can't get rid of her. Once she gains 80 pounds or something to that effect, and you need her money and you need her in the home, she's never going to lose that weight. So what you have to understand is, here comes a chance that you're going to be in a sexless relationship. And for most men, it happens at some particular part in a long-term relationship. And you have to make the conscious choice, are you going to be okay with that? I was in one before. It was not getting sexless, but it was getting close to that. And typically that's what happens. You start off at a level like this, and it's hard to keep at a level like this for 30 years. So typically what happens is, when you start off here, you can't go no higher. So it kind of curves down. So if you're a person, you want to keep things up, keep it slow. Don't start off fucking every night. Start off slow. Start off at a pace you can carry. You know, a lot of times men start off very romantic with a woman, or start off very, 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 very zealous with a woman, and you put it on real thick to get her, but you can't keep up that pace. And that's another thing. You know, you have to start off with anybody at a pace that you can keep. You know, you don't start off with on the racetrack running your hardest as a sprint, because it's the fastest you can go. You know, you get to build up to that, you see. So in a relationship or any kind of meaningful relationship, you know, don't start off trying to exert yourself doing your best just to get a woman when you know you can keep that pace up. Because once again, if you start off like that with anybody, or even at a job, if you start off with a job really great, they're going to expect that from you all the time. So just know how you start is how most people will expect you to finish. So shout outs to my men who are in sexless relationships. I hope it gets better for you. Your hand and wrist never let you down. But once again, as you guys can see, in classic view, this is where the O'Shea Duke Jackson channel made a lot of noise. These type of videos, classic view videos, I love this. I love this particular angle to do my videos from. So once again, thank you for all of y'all who've been donating. Check out my first link in the description for those of you who want to donate to the channel. The Negro Manosphere website has been on fire. Yesterday we had the most views on the blog we ever had, which was 8,000 in one day. Shout out to Professor Alan Roger Curry, Donovan Sharp from Return of Kings, Alvin Hollinger, Tunde Umana, Nii Adaragbegbe. I write on there sometimes. My editor, Alexandru Moruz. Fellas, the NegroManosphere.com website is taking off. For those of you who want to subscribe to it, email me, planetoshay@gmail.com. Those of you who want to donate, go to the first comment underneath this particular podcast and click on it. And there are certain ways you can donate. You can also email me at planetoshay@gmail.com for you to donate. So I'll be doing more videos particularly like this and get this taken care of. So once again, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out. Calypso, Oregon. Peace.